Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin in Charles Champagne.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
First carry here for Shane Vereen. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
Evan Ingram brings wide receiver hands and wide receiver speed to the tight end position for the New York Giants. I think that's why they were attracted to him. His ability to make plays in the middle of the field, but also they can use him as a primary receiver when left by himself.
Play action. Manning. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted for you.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
The 4th-year man from LSU, Brad Wing, to punt it away. Back deep is Darren Sproles. Now Sproles. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them out the 6-year
start. NFC Offensive Player of the Week in last week's game.
Yeah, week 2, he was electric. Let's see what week 3 has in store. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Foles. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Foles. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Jason Pierre-Paul able to to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. Uses the spin. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And the defense now for the Eagles.
In 2016, the Eagles showed that they were going to be aggressive on defense. A lot of man coverage and send the pass rushers after the quarterback. I don't expect that to change at all in 2017, but they are looking for increased play from their cornerbacks, trying to lock down some wide receivers.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. A screen here to Vereen. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken what the defense will give him.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Well, they didn't really have to earn that first down, did they?
Well, they're not having to earn much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a first down.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here's Vereen. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play and moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense. Big play for the defense.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
I'm pretty sure the Giants saw big success for Sterling Shepard coming out of Oklahoma. They could see him in their offense working in the middle of the field and making big catches.
Second only to Michael Thomas last year among rookies in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Manning. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 19 carries, 68 yards. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And well-loved by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
This is Ajayi. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now Foles. This one complete to Sproles. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
Flush to his right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Manning to throw on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Pushing a foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Shane Vereen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that.
And he can't get away from the pressure, the Giants get there. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole...
Have recovered.
They make so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult, that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually comes free. It's amazing sometimes because of what we see them do on so many different plays.
Had the catch, but couldn't control it on the contact. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he connects with Ertz. And he'll be out of bounds, getting it across the 25. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. To throw now on first down. It's over the middle. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork. Of all the routes that defenders would love to remove from offensive playbooks, I think the wheel route would rank near the top. And on that one, they almost had it, just weren't able to come down in bounds.
Yeah, you see right there for the running back, it's tough as you're going toward that sideline trying to stay in bounds. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, just didn't have enough real estate, as they like to say.
They'll get a couple yards on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Ross Cockrell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. It's Vereen, and he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They stick on the ground. Again, it's Vereen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. There he goes right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Roger Lewis, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants add on to their lead.
I'm glad we were paying attention during the rules seminar because we learned the only time you can't advance a fumble like that is in the last 2 minutes of either half.
Right. Other than that, if that ball's out, whether forward or backwards, it's live and free for anybody.
No doubt about it. When you say free, that means he's got free reign to pick it up and go. That's exactly what happened there. Took it in for a touchdown.
A reminder coming up in the Sunday night game, matchup you don't see very often, a rematch of Super Bowl 18. The Raiders traveling to Washington. And then tomorrow on Monday night, we'll see the Cowboys heading to the desert to take on the Cardinals.
Former NFC East rivals.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Back to throw here. Flushed out right. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to bear of 11. Well, it's gutsy to go for it in the red zone. The problem there is they were in their own red zone. Why in the world did they do that?
They must have thought they had the exact play call that they needed to go a big way. And I'm still not even buying that one. I'm reaching on
You're
that
searching.
one. Actually reaching. But I do know this. On the other side of the field, that coaching staff is screaming at their defense, if you don't handle this one right here, this is a great opportunity for us. Take it away, guys. And they did.
And now excellent field position. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Giants coming up on 1st and goal. Remember, they had only 6 rushing touchdowns all of last year, fewest in the league. Shift together here from the D-line. Manning now to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
To throw, it's Manning, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Rhett Ellison, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And it is now 21-0. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
He juked him. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They run with Ajayi. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll try and throw for it here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot.
Oh, wide open, complete, touchdown, Giants. Brandon Marshall, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Giants add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Going for they've got his man complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because he had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Johnson was the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions, that confident veneer that you have. Gets chipped away a little bit, maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is Ertz with it, right side. He had a great strong move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. The Eagles on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Jason Pierre-Paul getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated into their own defensive scheme, and continue to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And the Eagles are going to have a first down.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down, or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
Now a play fake here on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Ross Cockrell. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, If your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
As explosive and dynamic a playmaker as Brandon Marshall's been in his career, can you believe he's never been to the postseason in 11 years?
Yeah, 11 years. He's hoping to get there, obviously, with the Giants. One thing's for sure, didn't have to move his locker far. He went from the Jets to the Giants, same facility.
You keep the same address as well.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, here's Manning. And complete to Lewis over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So that one will be accepted. They'll run here with Vereen. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Manning going to try and throw on 3rd down. And Ingram holds it in. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On the run, here's Vereen. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard, right at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Evan Ingram with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play. Well, that certainly looked like the Torrey Smith we knew in Baltimore. A guy can just run past defenses, and what do they say? Take the top right off of them.
Game-changing speed, and the days in Baltimore good, days in San Fran not so great, but now hoping to get back to his former self.
I would say they have an extremely motivated wide receiver in Torrey Smith.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. He got 29 yards that time. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
They'll look to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got his man in the crossing route. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Not to turn away any of our viewers, but worth mentioning, I suppose. No team has ever come back from a deficit of this size and won an NFL game. The largest ever was 32 by the Bills over the Oilers in 1993. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Foles. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off down at the 2. He's at the 50, the 40, past the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants.
That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. He spins free. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On play action, they'll throw. It's complete, left side to Aguilar. A good pickup there at 22. Boy, Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
They're really athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your step.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Eagles are behind by a large margin, and that's no surprise when you see the turnover numbers. The Giants are taking what's given to them, and today that's a whole bunch of gifts in the form of turnovers. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Midway through the first, Manning's throw under pressure leads to the turnover. Eagles defense gets off the field with the turnover. After the INT, offense comes out now. The pass ends up being picked off. Dixon's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. After the pick, offense comes out now. Kareem is going to stay inside after the handoff, and he'll go in for the score. He'll take the early advantage. Offense out now after the fumble. The pass ends up being picked off. Giants defense forces the turnover. Now 2nd and 8. Lewis is able to get clear of everybody, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone. The lead now at 14. Now early in the second, Ellison's by himself here, and this play will go for 6. The Giants up now by 21. Now looking to take advantage after the turnover. Marshall's got nobody around him on the deep pass. And 45 yards later, he'll go in for the score. Eagles line up at the 18. Under pressure here, and the ball is picked off. Giants will come away with the football. Eagles with the football late in the half. Here the defense will come up with the pick. Casillas going to run it all the way back for the score. The Giants way in front. That'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Let's send it back up to Brandon and Charles in Philadelphia.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
So we'll find out.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
This is Johnson. He's got it. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And now a first down following that long gain. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Here's Foles. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
Now Foles. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6.
Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the second half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
And an encroachment penalty here will cost them 5 yards.
And it makes it so simple, doesn't it? An easy free 5 yards for the offense given to them by the defense.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So you heard the word. This is a neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defender wanted to try and get back after he had jumped, unable to do so.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So we've got encroachment, and that's a free 5 yards.
Too easy for the offense. A bit of impatience by the defense on that one.
Manning turns and gives this to Gallman. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding, offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
On the ground, it's Gallman again. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Perkins on 3rd down. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. And out now come the Eagles. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about 3 points.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now they try the right side here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And now here is another interception. Picked off with great anticipation. And a short return game. He's having now 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and they take it away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Manning will try again on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Lewis. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, That does him no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team is...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, the spin. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. We get a look at Sterling Shepard as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long. So he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now back to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 14. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know.
And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, Poundstone keeps possession. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about on 3rd and long. It's Manning. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Jeffrey with a catch left side. 23 yards on the play. And these numbers on our monitor are getting hard to believe. He's closing in now right on the doorstep of 500 yards passing.
I'm glad that you watched the monitor and said it first, because I had trouble absorbing that. That's big time right there, right? That means everything just about has gone right for them and his squad in this game. Let's see if they can keep it up. And
that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. He'll drop to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah. Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. They'll run again with Marine.
And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Here's Gallman, and that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And tough starting field position here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Steps away to his left. They find some open field here. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll try to run it with Vereen. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Shane Vereen with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Rosas now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7th. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel.
And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 37. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you get...